Greetings. Most importantly, blessings. Yes, sir. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Left it to the world, they'll surely turn it cold. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Left it to the world, they'll surely turn it cold. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road.
Yo. It's another great Sunday, 7 p.m. So you know that means it's 82 and 0 live. Got your boy here, G, today, man. We got some beautiful guests here. Great movie I watched. I had the pleasure of watching it multiple times just so I could really digest it. The Perfect Victim, available now on Tubi. Real good movie. I definitely feel like everyone should check it out. On camera now, we have Miss Alicia Moore, who plays the character Sam. And we have Miss Peggy Logan, who played the bishop, correct?
I did, yes.
Right, cool. So, so I just want to kind of get started, kind of give each person a chance, just kind of go on and speak and tell your background a little bit as far as in acting and just in general who you are and where you're from. So we're going to start with you, Miss Alicia. Oh, you might.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. I am Alicia Moore Hill. I hail from now the great state of Columbia, South Carolina. I have been in the military for the past years, so that has kept me on the go, but I am grateful to finally call South Carolina home. I have been acting since 2016. Off and on while being in the military. So that has been exceptionally exciting. It's been my therapy. It's turned into my first love. And so this has been really exciting. I am currently in school, after school. I was just telling Joffrey that I had just literally got back in from being in school up in Virginia. But thanks to my sister, I am happy to say, who wrote my letter of recommendation for me to complete my doctoral program that I will be matriculating in August. So exciting things on this end, both personal and professional. So thank you so much for having me on.
You're more than welcome. And Miss Peggy Logan.
I am Peggy Logan. I am originally from White Plains, New York, raised in Somerton, South Carolina, and now I live here in Columbia, South Carolina. Went to Claflin University, South Carolina State, where I earned a theater degree, started theater, poetry, spoken word, and then I got into acting. So I've been acting now for some years, educator for 29 years. So, but acting is my first love. Spoken word is my second.
Okay.
So this is my first full length feature with for John, but I've been doing this for a long minute now.
Nice. We also have Veronzo and Pudgy backstage. We can go ahead and bring them as well and get their intros. Come on in, fellas. Veronzo, I feel like I know you, brother. I know we ain't had a whole lot of conversation up to this point, but I feel like I really know you from a certain place.
Yeah, you know what I mean. What's going on, y'all?
What's good with you, brother? I think last time I see you might have had locks, right?
Yeah, I had locks, but I learned, I was reminded that locks and stress do not mix. Okay, I want to keep my hairline. Hallelujah, thank you.
Yeah, that's why mine left.
yeah.
But while we got here, you're on the main stage. Go ahead and just give them a quick background of who you are, where you're from, and how you got to where you are today.
All right, yeah, man. My name is Veronzo Hurd. I was born in Columbus, Ohio, but I'm also an ex-military brat. So moved around Germany, Belgium, overseas, Texas. But I am from South Carolina, I would say. I've given blood, sweat, and tears there a lot. I went to the great Benedict College, BC. Okay. Anyway, excuse me. Where my major was mass comm, and then I've been I'm a photographer, I'm a writer, I'm a poet. Met Corey in Carolina. I've been in a few of his plays and skits and whatnot, and I've always helped him behind the scenes. So he wanted me to be a part of his first film. I'm like, yeah, what you anytime. But now I live in Pittsburgh with my wife.
Okay.
We've been married 3 years. Marriage
Okay.
gang, turn up. That's it.
Okay. Pudgy, come on up the center stage, brother. Talk to us. Tell us about Pudgy.
I'm from Bamberg, South Carolina.
Okay.
I do my comedy out of Columbia. I've been a comedian for about 8 to 10 years. Super awesome. I know most of these guys were already my friends. We all did some improv show at the Comedy House a while back, so I know most of them already. And it's always fun to work with my friends, man. You know, in comedy, you know, that's solo. So to be brought in on a movie project with a bunch of people that I'm already cool with was just an awesome honor.
Nice. So let's kind of get into the movie, right? So I told myself there was one thing that we was going to discuss is Shawty crazy. Like I don't want to tell the movie, but Shawty crazy. I want to know, like, for y'all, just in seeing the movie and being a part of the movie, like, how did, like, are you familiar with a character like that in real life, or was that just kind of like, whoa? Because I feel like I know one or two. I ain't gonna say that because I might end up with child support, but I know one or two. But y'all, like, seriously, like, in that, like, is the storyline, is that something that you at all can relate to, even if it's not as drastic, or is it like something more just kind of like a one type thing for y'all?
I'll tag in first. Oh, go ahead, Peggy. Go ahead.
Well, I know for me, I feel like the character, she definitely is someone that we can all relate to. We know somebody who has been that person who has tried to manipulate and make us feel like something's wrong with us, you know, instead of them. So, oh, absolutely, I could definitely relate to that character in saying, yeah, we know someone like that. We know a lot of people like that.
Right. Alicia, you want to take on it?
Yes, I wanted to say that earlier, well, I will say even now, I'm an empath. I love so easy. It takes nothing for me to be like, oh my gosh, I just love you so much, because I just love to see the authenticity of people. But it also creates a blind spot in where there's a level of being naive to what's going on in a relationship. So as I've gotten older, I've definitely am better about that part. But just understanding that just because we want to call them friend does not mean that they're flawed, or does not mean that they're your friend. So yeah, I can relate.
Pudgy.
That's my ex, man. And you know what? It was like some, you know, a mental block for me to see that on the screen. And I'm like, that's why I left her. That's why I left her right there. But yeah.
I can dig it. So, Alicia, it was kind of interesting that you kind of explain yourself as empath in your real life, because I felt like your character and what you described, your character in the movie Sam, kind of had that kind of vibe in a sense. She was kind of real mellow, easygoing. She had different things around her that was pressuring her, but her demeanor itself seemed kind of easygoing. So for you, was that kind of like a easy transition to get into her character and play that role, or?
I won't say that it was a easy transition, but I was very comfortable in the role, being able to bring. I like to believe that in every role that I bring forth, that I am bringing a part of myself. So the part of me being easygoing, that part of myself was very easy to bring to the character.
Gotcha. Yeah, she was, to me, out of like everybody's character was pretty funny. I like Beezy from the beginning, like on the couch, how she was just kind of shooting the little jokes. It was perfect, almost like it was like Migo ad libs perfectly in that scene. That really caught me. and also Mel's character Lita, she kind of had like a little spunk to her. She was cool, but she had a little spunk to her to kind of give like three different personalities as far as the women there. And then of course Vic, who we ain't gonna talk about Vic. We will.
We're not gonna talk about Vic.
Yeah, but I want to say this, like for each person, like what was like a high moment for you all as far as putting the movie together? Because I imagine there were scenes and days where y'all were together, weren't together. There's off-scene stuff that we would never be able to see. Like, tell us about some of the highlights of creating the movie.
Well, I know for me, it's just that joy of having the opportunity to work with so many talented artists. Like these are local artists at that. And Corey John has he has a way of bringing everyone together who's talented, who might not be seen in big, the big live stream movies, but people that are so talented that you can't wait to get back like together with them. So for me, it was just that opportunity of being able to work with everyone again. Because we're all in so many different aspects of his movies or films or short films, or he's done so much. So when he brings us all back together to work together, we get to kind of like it's nothing for me to, well, at least I always love seeing her pull out whatever character she has. So anything that she does, I can feed off of her energy. Like so, it's about kind of reuniting with everyone and just watching this whole film come together, which was phenomenal. It was just a phenomenal experience.
Nice. How about you, Pudge?
Like I said, I'm happy to be a part of it because it's with my friends, and I think he specifically put me in this film to make sure that people watch the whole film because I'm only in one part, but you gotta watch the whole film. No, but seriously though, I just like I said, I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. And it was nice to dive into another talent.
I like that. Speaking of that one part, Bronzo, you got the typical black. You was going. They killed you. So I'm just saying, my bad, bro. I watched
Remix.
I said I know that they said my boy was in here, and I looked, and I said, oh, so Bronzo, you got the typical treatment. Let's talk about that, brother. How did that? I mean, how did that go for you? You still there, brother? Oh, he don't want to talk about it. Okay, cool. We'll switch back. We'll let Veronzo come back to that. So I do want to talk about Sam's character, or Sam when she actually was in the house and she was face to face with Vic. To me, that was a real good moment for me because up until that moment, I didn't see anybody stand up to Vic. And it was almost like the unlikely person out of everyone. Like me kind of knowing Beezy, I could have saw her doing it. Me knowing Mel personally, I could, just thinking personal, not their characters, but on scene, on camera, like she was the one to do it. And I thought it was beautiful. I made a post about it, but it was like she was facing demons, but she wasn't just facing hers. She was facing a bunch of other demons. And in a way, her character kind of said that, hey, I'm under pressure from my mom. And since I got the settlement, people are thinking this and that. So in that moment, metaphorically, she really was facing everyone's demons at that time. Did anybody want to kind of chime in on that and just kind of see their perspective of that moment and how that played out in their mind?
So I often make the joke to beware of people who are short, who last letter their first name ends in A, because you just don't know what you're going to get. But I will tell you, for any person, regardless of what their demeanor or their typical day-to-day is, if you give them the perfect situation with the perfect storm of events and the perfect emotions, you're going to see a level of them because it's like that perfect storm of events. And so for Sam, like you said, she had so much going on. And for her, it was like, okay, I'm trying. I know I'm being a bigger person. I know I'm being a better person. But how much more of this do I have to take before my hand is forced? And so, yes, I stood up for myself in that moment, but that wasn't my norm. So it was almost out of character for me. But that just proves to show that even with her, like we want to say, you never really know a person, but even for me, you never really know a person, because the whole time I just, very even keel across the board, wanting to see the best in everybody, not wanting my friend out of all people to be this manipulative person, and then come to find out that we are just not on the same sheet of music. It took a lot for me to stand up to Victoria, because I always valued the relationship, and I was scared of losing the relationship. But it was a toss between losing the relationship and losing who I am as a person. So it was definitely a crossroads moment for me.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes. The fight scene was pretty good too.
That fight scene was hilarious.
And then I'm trying not to give the details, but I enjoyed the fight scene a lot. Maybe a little too much, but it was fun to see that her have that win to me in that moment. I know, but in that moment of her just standing up and doing what she was supposed to do to me in that moment, it was a beautiful thing to see. Anybody else want to chime in on that moment?
I know that was one of my favorites as well. Just watching it come to life. But if you know Lise, you'll know she's a lot of that character. She gives so much of herself. So it was an easy transition for me watching her become that character until the fight scene. I'm like, whoa! But I know my girl got it like that. So she's not one to be played with. So, but it was the other. I think the emotional scene, because it was the emotional roller coaster throughout the whole film. But with her role, she definitely takes you into that moment where you feel for her. You build a heart for her, but you also you, just like you said, you kind of like, girl, that's right, stand up for yourself and do it. And that's what I loved about that particular scene.
Cool. There was someone who chimed in and asked, what is it on? I know it's on Tubi. Is there any other platforms they may be able to watch the movie?
Yeah. You got Fossum. You have
Remy Ma's network.
the Remy Network. I think we're coming on. Is it Amazon?
Yes.
Amazon. I think Relay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on a couple of things out. Yeah, and they're all free.
Yeah, Tubi is free, so we can start there.
Start at Tubi, right?
Right.
Hey, that worked for me. I want to say too, with Vic's character, I noticed she used a lot of manipulation. Like, she was really a master manipulator. Like, once the story unfolds and you kind of see the real full picture of it, it was like, man, you've been doing this for a while. In our personal lives, have we ever been that person or fall victim to a person like that?
It's definitely one or the other in most cases, because I mean, we've all met somebody like that. I told you who my person was, and when you see it on the screen, you just think back to exactly those events that coincide with what you've seen. Like, yep, she did that too, just like, you know what I mean. And it's fun to watch those ladies do their acting, man. They are so awesome. They are. You forget who they are off the screen and just see their character.
So Pudge, with that saying, how did you, in your situation, how did you overcome and get to pass the manipulations, the different things you was facing in that?
I had just more important things going on. Like, I got shot in the head in real life, so that petty stuff, once I see is just dragging me down, I don't have time to hold on to that. I'm on to purpose and what I'm meant here for. So you just gotta let it go. It's hard for some people to let go, but at the end of the day, if you want to get to where you need to be, and that's dragging you down, you got to cut the weight.
But you said that real smooth. Like, yeah, I got shot in the head and da. But we can't. You can't just glaze over that, bro.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking that because my mouth dropped.
Like, I don't know how traumatic that is for you, right? But you glazed over it like it may have happened like 45,000 years ago. Like, can we touch on that subject if you don't mind?
Oh, it's part of the story. What would you like to know? I mean, I got shot in the head protecting my younger brother. Basically, some guys were after him. I'm the big brother. I stepped in, and one of them had a gun. He put it to my head and pulled the trigger. We start talking about faith. Ain't nobody on stronger than mine because it didn't hurt. It never hurt. I never been in any pain. I do walk with a cane, but like the bullet disintegrated literally, and it's like nothing happened in the situation how it normally would, just in what you know with physics and all of that. So it's just a blessing, you know. And for me that I was able to, like, I always say I'm the big brother because even when I got shot and I was laying on the ground, I had to direct people. Listen, go in there and calm mama down. You know, everybody calm down. I'm like, I'm the one that got shot, but I still gotta direct everybody. Like, no time off.
Man, that's a heck of a story. Like, I wouldn't mind having you on, bro, like on the solo and really kind of talk to you.
We definitely can do that. Just about the ladies, though. I'm telling you, I want to talk about these ladies because they are amazing.
Yeah, we coming back to them, but I'm just saying because you just said something in the middle of everything that was we couldn't just glaze over that. So back to Miss
It's a blessing. Definitely my blessing.
So you were telling us you're doing military, you're studying, you're doing movies, you're back and forth. Like, how do you do that? Like give us an idea of the mindset that it takes, the determination it takes, and the faith, the belief, the relationship.
So I will tell you, I've had some pivotal years, starting with 2015 when I decided to get divorced from my husband of 9 years. At that time, I didn't know who I was. I went through this season of my life where I felt God had left me. I felt abandoned. I'm from the great state of Oklahoma, go Sooners. And I am out here in South Carolina with no family in one of the worst storms ever. My electricity was off for 3 days. No one called to check on me because I wasn't connected to anybody, being that I was in the military. And, you know, you move so much, that community piece, you just don't know people unless you're out there. And so I went through this phase where I legit told God, I said, I know that you're real. I said, but right now, I just don't want anything to do with you because I feel like you abandoned me. I said, but I'm not slow. Whatever you do, please don't take your hand off of me. And I know that is probably one of the weirdest prayers to ever pray. But I was so serious about how I felt in that moment. It was then that I turned to acting. And during that time, I was reading Priscilla Shirer. That's when Fervent had came out. And her book came out subsequently with that. And so I was reading her book and just getting back on board on my relationship with God. Because I was very mad. I was very mad for a very long time. But when I tell you God did not take his hands off of me, that is part of my testimony. But as I went from there into acting, I learned that a lot of what I was doing was just trying to keep busy so that I wouldn't have to feel. I was acting because I didn't want to feel. I'm deep diving into schools and all this because I did not want to feel. And God had to slow me down a little bit. He says, you can still do all these things, but I want you to feel. And so I went from being on autopilot to my pivotal year of 2023, February, I got a call. I was headed to a photo shoot for a stage play that I was doing. And I got a call that morning. They told me that my oldest brother had 24 hours to live. I had literally been up the night before. I had went to a gala event, and I got a call at the gala event that my daughter was walking down the street and she was running from someone. And so I was like, well, what's the story? Is she walking down the street? Is she running from somebody? Couldn't nobody give me a direct answer, but then I hear all this yelling and screaming. So I ended up driving an hour away to get to my daughter, figured out what was going on with that. Police were involved, the whole nine. I had less than 3 hours of sleep. I drove after my photo shoot because I said, God, I said, just give me this little bit of peace because I have a feeling it's getting ready to be hell. And I drove after that photo shoot and getting my children settled to Oklahoma, which was a 14-hour drive because I could not get a flight. I got to Oklahoma only to get to the parking lot. When I sent the text and told them that I was in the parking lot, my brother took his last breath. And it crushed my whole world. I was actually writing my book and I was writing my brother's obituary at the same time. I went from there. That was in February of 2023. In April of 2023, I got promoted to Chief Warrant Officer 3. Peggy was actually there to give the invocation for my ceremony. And I did that ceremony, still trying to be on autopilot for all those things. And then not even 72 hours later, I lost my dad. And when you're an empath like myself and you love so easy, it hurts differently. So I found myself trying to do all these things and all these, accolades and trying to move because I did not want to feel. And so now God has put me in a season of rest. And he's telling me it is okay if you rest. So I say all of that to say, I take it one day at a time. I'm not doing everything every single day. And I thank God and I bless God for the 24 hours of that day to accomplish whatever I need to accomplish, knowing that he will see me through. So.
Man, that's powerful. I feel like a lot of people who are empaths have some kind of story like that. It's almost like God takes us through things for us to be more connected. I don't know why that's his method, but most people that have like that, like they can tell you about different stories, and on the surface they may not show it, but like it's just some kind of way they seem to connect. I don't want to get my story again, but similar, but not as but it's a similar type thing. So my heart goes out to you. I know you're where you are now, but still to just have the strength and that story and that journey, that's powerful within itself. And I'm sure like for more people to hear that, the people around you, they're able to see you battle through that and get to where you are. It's inspiring. It's a lot of everything. Just hearing it from you, I felt emotional inside just hearing it. And you were smiling and laughing at me earlier, but I'm just like, man, how? So yes.
God. How is God? That will always be the answer. God. It is in him that I live, move, and have my being. My answer will always be God.
You better say it.
Talk. I love it. Mr. Hurd, welcome back.
Yeah, man. Sorry, y'all. I was at work, and
Oh, we appreciate you doing
that. Double duty.
Well, you made this podcast that much realer, bro. I appreciate you coming on while you got everything else going on. So salute to you. So let me ask you, how have you been since the last time I saw you at Ford City at the men's breakfast?
Well, married. In 2023, I moved to Pittsburgh, where I haven't been. So I was a stranger in a strange land, had a new job before I even moved there. The same week I moved, got married, which, and I gracefully and lovingly, gratefully, inherited 3 dogs, and a mortgage, and a mom-in-law, who lives with us, and a new title, Pittsburgh is more elevated than South Carolina, so there's a new like motion sickness thing that I have that I rebuke. There's so many hills and so much like it was a lot, and I didn't know that it was a lot until maybe like 6 months into our marriage. I'm like, maybe I need therapy. Yeah, but now better. I've gained weight. I've never been 250 in my life. My wife is a chef and a barber and a minister and a singer and a writer and way cooler than I am. My daughter has a 4.1 GPA. You know, like I mean, God just been good, man. I got a chance to be in my best friend's like first feature film. You know, I got to host some things. I've been here and there. I've done weddings. I've done some poetry at places I didn't think I was going to do it at. I prayed on national TV at the National Day of Prayer here. We have a community choir now. I have a few things coming up. The NAACP wants me to host one of their events in June. So it's doors have been opening, you know. So I really thank God, and I thank my wife and all of my friends and Corey for even just considering me, you know. So I'm grateful to be amongst the greats because you know these people, y'all have been doing this way longer than me. I'm just a humble servant, happy to be with my fellow South Kakalakians, you know.
Miss Peggy.
Yeah.
You say you did some spoken word as well, right?
I've done spoken word.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah, that's the second love. Acting is always gonna be the first love, but which I had the chance to work with Veronzo and Elise. So we're all spoken word acting family.
So with acting being your first love, talk about your history in that, some of your accomplishments in that area.
So I started back in high school. Went to South Carolina State Claflin University on a scholarship. And from there, I've been acting. Once I moved to Columbia, kind of took a role of its own. Did some 2B stuff. I've been working with Corey now. Gosh, I feel like it's been at least 15. I feel like it's probably about 20 years. We started doing little small.
Whatever.
Yeah, it feels like a long time. I think last year was probably one of the roughest years. We did sort of 2B series, which was the little Follow Me Out series. And I would say that Corey always finds a way to pull me in, even when I'm at my lowest, which was last year, going through a third hip surgery. I ended up fighting with my school district. So this is year 28, which I'm going into my 29th as a school counselor. The district decided that I loved acting more than I loved my job, so to speak. It was balanced. They kind of pulled, hey, you got raped on TV. It was a scene that Corey had done. We did a short film where it was a domestic violence piece, and it was a little rape piece. They pulled that. You were having sex on TV. I wasn't having. I got raped. It was a domestic violence piece. You know, I found myself really fighting because I'm an actress, because you know I'm a poet, because I'm an artist. It was tough trying to navigate my children, balance acting with education. So it was almost like you have to decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to act, or do you want to work as a school counselor? And it balances me out. If I'm not on stage, or if I'm not in front of a film, I'm not hearing someone say, hey, do this, and that's what I like about Corey, because he'll pull it out of you to get that character. And I love a challenge when it comes to being a character of playing crazy, because as a therapist, we have to be so level. We have to be so level-minded, but I enjoy playing crazy.
So that's a real thing. I think a lot of people at some point in time are faced with that what is their purpose, what God has purpose for, and sometimes their careers. Because sometimes to live in our purpose, we still have to pay our bills, we still have to eat, we have family and all that. And sometimes it's a real difficult choice to make, and especially if they don't understand the purpose But I like this story with that. Do you all feel like it regardless of you'll continue acting if your job says no or if the military says no, is that something that regardless you'll just step away from that and continue? It's like that's your God-given purpose? Is that where y'all are with it?
I will tell you, I am currently my research that I'm working on is racism in the military. And I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole with that. It has been a very exciting journey, but I say it to say I was told, you may not want to do that topic because you may not get that next dot if you do that topic. And it was something about somebody telling me that said, oh, really? Okay, well, then let's go, and pursued it anyways. So nobody is going to tell me. If God says this is what you're doing in this season, this is what I'm doing. As long as God is my source, the power of resource, refuel, reset, revisit, it all comes from him because he's my source. So I'm not letting something that God allowed me to get into keep me from doing what I want to do. If God says this is what you're doing, this is what I'm doing. But as far as letting what's happening here on earth determine what I am and am not going to do, nah, not your girl.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And I'm with that too, Alicia. I definitely second that. I'm not. I chose to leave. I was settled for 20 years in one spot. It was comfortable, and it was okay for me to come out of my comfort zone because that's my sanctuary. Acting is my sanctuary. And what Corey has done with The Perfect Victim is he showed the world that you don't, just because it's a Tubi movie, it didn't have to have a whole bunch of sex scenes in it, and that it's just a pure drama, a roller coaster of some drama that's going to take you through maybe some mystery, deviousness, some mischievousness.
Yes.
But you told a story, and through telling that story, we can be ourselves and still have fun in film and not put our career on. I mean, just for someone to second look at what we're doing or how we're doing it. So no, I feel like I could do those type of movies and not have to risk my career on something sexual just to be seen or just to live out my life of being an actress.
Yeah. That's a good question. What you asked, bro. I don't think acting is my purpose per se. But I know, like, as a believer and as a minister, I'm called to people. And a good way to get there is acting, is on the stage, is the arts and all of that. But beyond that, I just love my friends and I love people. So anytime anyone like needs me and I can do it, I always try to show up. And my hope is that anything that I am a part of does give glory to God, but also represents my family and my namesake and the art well. Because I think there can be purpose in acting for me. But ultimately I'm just called to cry aloud and spare not. And I get to do that with my friends. I get to do that with these fine people on stage. I get to be on the same stage as Peggy Logan. I get to be in the same movie and mini series as Alicia Moore. I get to know and be around like OG Pudgy. Like my man's is famous, and now I get to be on 82 No Live because of the gift that God has given me. It's made room for me and put me before great men and women. So I'm just grateful all the time.
Speaking of great men, right? The one constant thing that I hear from everybody is Corey has been doing this, and he's driven, and he does things intentionally that really does a lot for each other. Like, talk about him, because he's not here. I just reached out to see if he wanted to hop on, but let each person just kind of give your perspective and your interaction with him and what you really see him, how you see him.
Me. I'll start first.
No. Ladies first. Ladies first, please.
Corey is on. I actually seen him. I wanted to say hi, Corey, because I did see him. He had made a comment. But I will say this, and I will keep saying this. There is a difference between, we like to talk about bad acting, but we never talk about bad directing. And so this was one of those cases where the directing was so good. And this is like his first, big film for him. The directing was so good. Corey is unbelievably kind. He is so open. He is willing to listen. He's teachable. I mean, it was truly an honor and a privilege. There was no big I's, no little U's. Corey is just so humble. He is absolutely amazing. I really could go on and on about Corey because I just love him so much. That is my bro. Whatever he needs. If he would have needed me while I was in school, I would have drove back just to be here because he's just one of those. It's really hard to find authentic, genuine people who just love being themselves and they don't mind shining with you. It wasn't one of those where let me give you just a little bit, because keep in mind, I'm not from South Carolina. This is not my home. So a lot of times I come on set, especially if I'm doing film in the South Carolina area, I come on set being the quote unquote outsider. I have never felt like that with Corey. And it's like just the environment that he brings to the table, the openness, the ability to connect people and network. I mean, Corey's just a gem. I just love Corey.
That's what's
up. Corey, I'm well, him and Bees, they came as pretty much a package deal to me. But the thing I like most about Coach, I call him Coach. I don't call him Corey. I call him Coach. I met him in doing improv comedy. I'm a comedian, and it's just the immediate faith he has in you. Like, I believed in myself, but I felt like he believed in me more than I did. When I did the first time I did like a super, big, great set on stage, it was, with them at the Comedy House. And I'm like, how did I do, Coach? And he was like, you should have kept going. You already was doing great. They only wanted more. You should have kept going. And the fact that he brings me into this, because I've never been an actor till I met him. But he had the utmost confidence in me being able to do what was required without even a thought. Like, I always felt like I definitely got to do this right because, Coach believed in me. So I can't let Coach down, you know what I mean? So it's just definitely somebody to have on your team in a world full of people you wonder about. He ain't one of them. I'll give him that all day.
Well, I know for me, like I said, we've worked on several projects together. There's never a time when Corey can't call and say, "Hey, Peg, I need you." That I'm not. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If Corey calls, I'm there. He's easy to work with. He's gonna. I've worked with some directors that have just yelled and cursed. It aggravates and agitates you, and then you lose focus of who you are as a character. Not with Corey. Corey's gonna tell you what you need to do. He's gonna laugh you through it. But he's serious about his work, and he pulls you in so that you know how serious and how you can feel how important any project is, whether it's a short film, whether it's I think we've done like a little video or so, but man, he's amazing he directs, but he does it with such love and he makes you feel important. He makes you feel like you matter. And you would, when you feel like that, you're going to give your all into making sure that you're giving him 100% because he's giving you his 100%. And the love that you get from everybody, he's not, I don't know, for some reason, he's not just pulling in people off of the streets just to say, okay, he's pulling in people who genuinely care about acting, who have a passion for wanting to make whatever it is he's doing just come to life. And you got to respect that. So, he gets the utmost respect from me of all time. And just to be here in Columbia, South Carolina, because I've worked with a lot of directors in Atlanta, in North Carolina, but he's definitely my number one He's my number one guy. Call me, I'm there. He knows that.
Can we just clap for Corey John?
Because we can.
Round of applause. Yeah, listen, I've known him for a while, and we've only gotten actually closer maybe in the past 5 years or so. I hosted his reception. And that was a lot of fun. He has a wonderful wife, and she is just as powerful as him. Corey is a visionary, like he's always been that. From having me in his plays as Detective S, and just helping him behind the scenes and doing some like editing and photography for him and stuff, man. Like he's so dope. And Corey was, talk about purpose. I think part of his is this because he looks like a director. He has the hat, he got the big head with the big beard and stuff. And I mean, if you see him, your first thought is he is a director, and he's been doing it for a while. Like he should be on masterclass. He fits so well into the art, into the industry of this, man. And I am so happy to know him and honored to even be considered when he wants to do anything. Like Corey's like we're like ride or die. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we ride and we don't die until we really old, But I've always appreciated his vision and his perspective. He made me way more comfortable with myself. I don't like seeing me on camera after the fact. I really don't. And he's always encouraged me. I would have been in here a lot longer and a lot sooner in life had I met him a lot sooner in life. So I love Corey John like all the way. Like that's my OG. He's my director. He's a writer. Like whatever bro needs, man. If you need a director, if you need to see your vision come to fruition, call Corey John. He knows a lot of great people too that can help you out. Yes.
So I haven't officially met Corey in real life. Our dialogue has literally mostly been about getting you all the podcast. I feel like it was God sent because I literally just logged on Facebook and in some random group I just saw him say, "Hey, any podcasts out there?" And his demeanor was perfect. It was like, "I'm not begging, but if there's any podcasts that want to have me on," and I'm like, "Cool." But at that moment, like literally, like so y'all understand, this is technically my 4th episode. So like, this is super new for me. Like,
congrats to you too, man.
Yeah, so this is really just me moving in obedience. Like God had gave me some assignments, and this was one of them to give a platform for people to speak and to tell my story and everybody tell their story. So I'm just moving obedience. But in that, I reached out to him, and I'm thinking, man, I only got 3 episodes. He might not. And his response was like, no, yeah, we want to get on it. And I mean, from that point, it's been good dialogue. He's been real professional about everything. Like it gave me a good feeling about doing the whole thing for him and just kind of, I kind of made sure, I do it for everybody, but just kind of made sure I posted a good bit and tried to promote this moment and the movie itself because I like what he's doing, period, without even knowing him personally and knowing more of the people who are involved in the movie more so than him. Yeah. So shout out to him for even setting this up on his end. And man, y'all spoke lovely. I wouldn't mind getting him on here for 5 minutes so the world can kind of get a glimpse of him, but I think he's gonna shy off from that. But I do want to say before we close out, like if each person, if you have any personal things you got going on, plus if you got any shows or any movies, books, anything y'all have going on, I just want to give everybody the stage just to kind of highlight themselves and what they have going on personally.
All right, well, I'll lead off. I actually have a show tomorrow. I'm headlining Dreamers down in Monk's Corner. That's near Charleston, South Carolina. That's awesome. I brought my boy on Sauce Got Jokes, who was also in the movie. He's going to host for me down there. So I'm super excited about that. That's tomorrow. I just started an open mic for all talents, even our spoken word people out there, music, everything. I just started open mic. It's going to be every Monday at the Joint on Main Street. And, follow my page at Comedian Pudgy for all other upcoming shows. I'll be a little bit everywhere.
Nice. Well, let's go. Where you go, Peggy? Since you're at the top of it.
Let's see. I have one movie that's coming up. I'll be in Texas. I'm not sure if I can say what the name of the movie is, but I'm looking forward to that. But I've been in a couple little, little TV things. The Father May I series, Tit for Tat, um, Secrets in Plain Sight, where Miss Leash, phenomenal as always. Um, so yeah, I'm just got my eye open and still searching for more opportunities.
Cool.
Well, because I know Zoe's gonna be like, don't put me. You're a female. Go first. So let me get it out the way. I am currently gearing up for season 3 of Secrets in Plain Sight. It is a series that started off as a stage play and has turned into a phenomenal going on third season. As a drama TV series. So getting ready to get back on the horse to give some more of the good Dr. Diane James. I will be headed to California in June to train with Miss Ivana Chubbuck. If you do not know who she is most known for her coaching Halle Berry through Monsters Ball. If you've ever seen Monsters Ball, that was where Halle got her Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. And she goes on stage and she thanks Ivana Chubbuck as her acting coach of getting her through that scene. So I will actually be heading to Chubbuck Studios in June to become an accredited acting coach. So stay tuned.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Go Zoe.
I'm just a nobody. No. But no, I mean, I changed my name, so you can follow me. It's Veronzo, V3R1ZO on Instagram, and follow all my pages there. I'm open for business, so you need an actor, you need a voiceover, you need a poet, you need a photographer. Definitely hit me up. I also know people that know people. I love bridging gaps. Nothing going on right now, but stay tuned. Got a few things coming out, prayerfully by the end of this year. Also, if you need background vocals, you need tracks laid, you need some BGVs. My wife is a phenomenal singer, not even gas at her like she's not, like she just is, just purr. So if you go on my Instagram, you'll see her tagged in there. Shout out to Marie. I love you, boo boo. Other than that, just stay tuned, man. Follow me, follow everybody that I follow everybody from the movie. I have 2 IMDb credits now, thanks to Corey 1, thanks to Tangi of Wow Productions 2. I gotta pay for that IMDb page so my face can be on there. But I'm also I'm gratefully already excited for whatever comes next. But yeah, man.
Nice. So low key, I do got 1 or 2 songs that I do need somebody to sing on.
Okay.
But we may can talk about that afterwards. That song that came on, that was an intro I made, but it's still a rough draft. I really like the song, so I figured it'd be a good intro song.
Bro, and real quick, shout out to you as well, man. Like you had a vision, you put it out, and now you're on episode 4. And you and people like Corey and everybody on the stage who I've watched for years, like it's so inspiring, because sometimes you think you're too old or it's too late or everyone else is doing it, so everybody going to be watching mine or seeing mine or calling me or booking me, but just like you just do it. And when you just do it and you love doing it and it don't work out, but then you keep on going, like here we are now. Look, Ma, we on TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone on this stage and everyone who's here because of the movie and because of Corey and Wow and South Carolina, and shout out to 803 stand up all day. Like everyone who's here is because like we followed a dream. And let whomever hears this, whatever that thing is, you can have your own 82. Well, you can have this podcast because it's taken, my bro. but you can have your own podcast. You can act, you can write, you can't be as funny as Pudgy, but you can get there if you just keep on going. So shout out to you, man, for real, man. This is really, really inspiring. Every time I get to be a part of what everyone else has going on.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, because I definitely plan on keep going, but any pat on the back, it's still all glory to God, right?
Yes.
But that little extra energy to keep going. I do want to say this, and I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but the 82-0 live, the whole meaning behind that is that what God showed me in my life is that walking with Him, I've never lost, right? And so in basketball, you got a 82-0 season, right? Oh, that's a perfect season. So under God, when we walking with God, we 82-0. That's the whole meaning behind that. So I wish everyone that came on many blessings. I wish everybody that's watching many blessings. Hopefully we will meet again. We'll talk again. We'll have more conversations on our journey. We'll be able to tell us about the valleys and the top of the mountains and all the bright lights and beautiful things that God will show. I wish y'all great on y'all endeavors. Anything y'all have going on, this is not just to get y'all on the podcast. Reach out to me. Let me know if I can just throw a flyer up on my page anytime y'all got something, a book, a movie. I like to help out regardless of if you're on my podcast or not. That's just where my heart is. That's where my mind is. So I wish y'all the best. Pudge, if I could make it down there, I would. But bro, keep me in touch. I do like comedy. I think I'm funny sometimes too. Not all the time, but every now and then, you know. I do some editing, Corey, if you're still watching. I used to be HD Dreams Visual, so I shot music videos and all that. So photography and all that. So I'm open if y'all need me, if I need y'all. Hearts, right? Love.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Right. Y'all have a good night, man. Hey, if y'all stay, we can talk behind the scenes if y'all like.
All right. Love y'all. Peace out.
Cause inside the Holy Ghost having a ride. I ain't coming in